Welcome back to the shop. This video is a little bit different. I usually talk about horror stories, and today I'm talking about horror movies. I'm going to be ranking the Friday the 13th movies in order of what I think are the best. This video is my opinion. It is, however, the correct opinion. If yours is different, let me know down in the comments. To be honest, when I was doing this, I don't think I have anything too controversial. Maybe move a movie here, a couple spots up or down. But I think in general, I found out doing this, I kind of have boring, basic opinions. So we'll see. Like I said, I mostly talk about horror stories. I am a horror writer. But I thought this would be a fun video to do, especially with Friday the 13th coming up. Hopefully I have this video done and edited by then, and it'll come out on Friday the 13th. I hope so. We'll see.
It's got a death curse!
All right, number 12, and the correct worst Friday the 13th movie is the 9th one, Jason Goes to Hell. This movie sucks pretty much all the way around. Kane Hodder's back a little. They even give him a little extra screen time as a security guard in the beginning. But for the most part, Jason's not in the movie. Technically the character is, but it doesn't look like him. He's a body-hopping demon. And while that might be cool, if done well, I don't know. Number one, I don't think it's done well here. Number two, I don't know that Friday the 13th really facilitates that type of movie or story. The opening is cool with the Spec Ops guys or FBI guys kind of luring Jason into a clearing and blowing him up. That's cool. It's cool at the end when Freddy's glove comes out of the ground and pulls the mask down to hell, foreshadowing the Freddy versus Jason movie that wouldn't come for a while. Yeah, Freddy grabbing Jason's mask was cool. Everything in between I think is kind of lame. None of the characters are particularly good. So Jason Goes to Hell, the final Friday, is the worst Friday the 13th movie at number 12. Number 11, the second worst Friday the 13th movie is Friday the 13th Part 3, 3D.
Friday the 13th Part 3 in 3D.
Richard Brooker plays Jason, and I think he does a pretty good job. I think the green shirt, once he gets his mask, I think Jason has a cool look in this, and I think he plays him relatively well. I think that all of the characters are, for the most part, pretty lame. Our final girl, Chris, isn't that bad. And then Shelly, who inadvertently gives Jason his hockey mask, is not that bad of a character. He's kind of annoying, but it kind of plays into his... he's kind of almost the only full character here. You have the murder barn, the biker gang. There's the weird guy that Chris knew from back home. All of his dialogue is stupid. Aside from Richard Brooker's performance, I don't think there's a lot of good in this one. I had to take a couple of hour break. There were workers down the street cutting down a tree, and they were revving their chainsaws. But now I am back. Number 10 is Part 5, Friday the 13th, A New Beginning.
Friday the 13th Part 5, A New Beginning.
This one has a similar but different issue to Jason Goes to Hell in that the killer is not Jason. Now they kind of keep this hidden throughout the movie. The clue is that he has blue markings on his hockey mask instead of red. There's nothing really good about this movie. It's mostly boring. A couple of the characters are okay. The weird alt girl with the weird dancing, I always kind of liked her when I was younger. My understanding is that the guy that directed Part 5 was previously an adult film director, and especially when kind of talking about how it would be rated, and he chose to go with more nudity rather than blood. And I feel like he should have tried to hit a better balance than what he did. The killer is not Jason. I said he's dressed up to look like Jason, to be a Jason copycat. Our final girl and also final kid would be Pam and Reggie. They do okay. I like them just fine. There's nothing that I really like about this movie. John Shepard plays an adult Tommy Jarvis, and he plays him now adult, but like very disturbed. He's in this halfway house, and he's dealing with all these other characters. I just didn't care for the portrayal or anything. I don't have anything good to say about this movie. All right, the last of what I think of as the bad ones, number 9, is Part 8, Jason Takes Manhattan.
Friday the 13th, Part 8, Jason Takes Manhattan. Now, New York has a new problem.
The joke online is that the title should be Jason on a Boat, because that's where he's at 90% of the time. The last, 15, 20 minutes in Manhattan are pretty cool. It is cool seeing Jason in Manhattan / Toronto. A lot of the, when they're not on Times Square or something like that, a lot of it was shot in Toronto, but I don't really feel anything negative about that. Movies do that all the time. It's kind of hokey how he gets to New York, as now Crystal Lake is connected to a river, I guess. But I don't mind that. It seems plausible enough when you take the series into account. The same way that Jason is brought back to life in this one kind of fits in. The problem is the hour on the boat is just freaking boring. You have it's like a senior trip. They're taking the boat up to Manhattan to have a week in New York, or a weekend in New York. I don't remember. And so most of the movie is him on this boat. The kills aren't particularly great. The characters aren't particularly great. There's not much going on. Jason looks cool. It's an extension of how he looked in Part 7. And so I don't have beef with that. Kane Hodder is back as Jason, and he does a good job. I think they could have gotten away with maybe a half hour on the boat, and then just have him going around the streets in Toronto filming it, and have him wrecking havoc. I don't know. This season, like I said, the Manhattan bit is cool, and that probably 15, 20 minutes in Manhattan bump it up above the previous ones for me. And really, that's it. I can't think of anything else I want to say about Welcome to Manhattan. Number 8, and this is the first in my tier of movies that from here on I like all these movies. Number 8 is Jason X. Jason X is not a great movie, but it's not really trying to be. Like, they know it's ridiculous, they know it's stupid, and it doesn't take itself too seriously. I don't think the characters are too bad. I don't think they're too bland. There are a couple really great kills. Number 1 being the liquid nitrogen. Aside from the liquid nitrogen, I also like the hologram of Crystal Lake 1980. I thought that was funny. I also thought that Uber Jason looked cool after he's repaired by the nanobots. I think he looks cool. It does look a bit dated. The special effects, like I said, the special effects and the sets in this one could really be like a mid-2000s Sci-Fi Channel original. Number 7, Friday the 13th, Part 1. But Part 1 is odd when you look at series. Oftentimes, the starter of the series, the first movie, people consider that either the best or one of the best. And for the most part, most fans of Friday the 13th consider the first one to be somewhere in the middle of the pack, which is, I have it number 7 out of 12, so it's pretty close to dead center. A couple issues with it is it looks cheap and old. Like, when you rewatch it, it looks almost like a camcorder made, and honestly, in the middle, it kind of lags a bit. It does get kind of boring. But aside from those two things, this is a pretty good movie. I feel like it sets up Camp Crystal Lake well enough. the kills and the effects are great. I thought Pamela Voorhees was very scary, especially she seemed so sweet when she first started talking to Alice, when Alice is all upset. And then she gets steadily creepier and creepier as she talks about Jason. And then later, especially, I was probably in 8th grade, I think, when my parents let me watch this the first time, when Mrs. Voorhees was chasing Alice through the woods, and she's like speaking in like a high-pitched voice, and Jason is like talking through her.
Kill her, Mommy. Kill her. Kill her.
That terrified me. The bit when Alice decapitates her and the hands are reaching up there for nothing in slow motion, I thought that was really cool. And I still think that's really cool. I watched it with my son not too long ago, and he also thought it was cool. It's a very simple script, very simple movie. You can tell it was kind of really quickly and cheaply made. It is a Halloween knockoff. But it definitely does enough very well that it stands on its own, I think, and it deserves to have spawned the series that we have today. All right, my number 6 is Friday the 13th Part 7, The New Blood. I probably have this one a little bit higher than what a lot of people hold it, and in fact, sometimes I might even rank this even higher. There's definitely some goofy stuff, and I'll get to that, but Kane Hodder plays Jason in this one, and he does great, and this, I believe, is the best looking Jason we have in any of the movies. He looks awesome here. I especially love how you can see his spine on the back and all that. I think it's really cool. Tina, played by Laura Park Lincoln, rather. I think she did a good job. I think she was a cool character. This is sort of Carrie versus Jason. I thought it was cool, and especially when she was doing her mind battle fighting Jason at the end. This happened a lot with Friday the 13th movies, but I believe it was heavily impacted. This one is how the ratings board just kind of massacred the kills and all the special effects and stuff like that. So a lot of times you'll see Jason come in and then it kind of cuts away. In a lot of cases, I think that's cool. I think it's cool for you to visualize what happens, but also, especially with slashers or with Jason, you do want to see some cool effects and some cool kills. This is one that I really enjoy watching. Number 5 is Freddy versus Jason.
Freddy versus Jason.
This one, along with the next one, I think might be kind of controversial because I think I have it higher than where a lot of people put it. I like this movie. There are, as far as negatives go, we do lose Kane Hodder as Jason. Ken Kersinger, I think, does an okay job, but they definitely wanted a specific type of Jason, a big, dumb, slow, lumbering, like 1930s Frankenstein type monster. Then they wanted that to play off of the kind of the much more charismatic Robert Englund. Honestly, I think making an attempt to, number one, make sense of the storylines of both franchises, and number two, making it make some sort of sense for them to be in the same movie and in the same area. I think they did a pretty good job. Obviously, this wouldn't make that much sense as either a canon Friday the 13th movie or a canon Nightmare movie. But again, if you're mashing the two together, I think they did the best they could with the mash. And so I like it. I think it's cool. I think it looks great. Some of the characters are kind of okay. Some of them are pretty good. Some of the dialogue is looking back now is really cheesy or really corny and kind of the early to mid 2000s time, which doesn't bother me that much. This was the first one I had recently started driving when it came in the theaters, and this was the first one I saw in the theaters. This might have been one of the first movies that I drove myself and a couple friends to go see in the theaters. So I definitely have a soft spot for that. Some of the kills are great. The one in the bed is awesome. When Jason is lumbering around in the cornfield and then catches on fire and there's the cornfield party massacre, I thought that was awesome. I like it. I think it's fun. Number 4, the fourth best out of 12 Friday the 13th movie is Friday the 13th, 2009. The remake, reboot, I don't even know what you'd call it. I wish they had named it something else. And I think it's awesome. I think Derek Mears did a great job as Jason. I would love for him to come back. The first, 30-ish minutes where it plays or recaps the first 3 movies are awesome. Now, a lot of the other supporting characters, they get kind of shit-talked a lot because they are sort of extreme examples of these very cliche characters, but it doesn't really bother me a whole lot like that. It's clear that's what they were going for. There's a cool twist at the end where you think you have one final girl and then you end up with another one. I feel like watching this movie, the people that made it tried to make a good Friday the 13th movie, and I don't think that's something you can say about most movies these days. And I don't even think you can say that about all of the people who made Friday the 13th movies. So I really like this movie. I think it's unfairly shit talked, and I think it's a good one. Right now, number 3 is Friday the 13th Part 2, the sequel. We've got Sackhead Jason running around, and this is a great one. I like the look of Sackhead Jason. I think overall it's scary. Amy Steele as Jenny is probably the best final girl in the series. She's awesome. She does a great job. The scene at the end where she puts on Pamela Voorhees' sweater and tricks Jason, that's really cool.
Mother is talking to you!
I think that this movie has the best group of side characters, the fodder characters to be murdered. I think these are really good, great kills. That's the highlight. One of the highlights being the guy in the wheelchair. All right, we only have 2 left to go. They are Part 6 and Part 4. So which one will be number 2? I love the opening. You have Tom Matthews playing Tommy Jarvis. I like this portrayal of the character more than I do in the 5th one. Him and a buddy accidentally resurrect Jason. And this is when it's very clear that okay, this is a supernatural entity. This is a zombie. He gets resurrected by lightning, very much like a universal monster like Frankenstein being brought to life. C.J. Graham plays Jason in this one, and he does a good job. This is the only movie where there are actually kids at the camp when Jason is attacking, and this adds some great suspense. One character definitely steals the show, and that is Jennifer Cook as Megan Garris. I think she does a great job. Her and along with Tom Matthews together, they're great in this. They're a lot of fun to watch. I feel like they had great chemistry. There's a good balance of it kind of being a funnier tongue-in-cheek Jason movie similar to Jason X, while also having the characters be afraid and there being some good effects in it. It's probably one of the best showdowns at the end as far as how to kill Jason. Where you have Tom Matthews, Tommy Jarvis in the boat, luring Jason to him, and he's going to throw the chain over his neck attached to a rock to sink. We know we're not going to kill him. We're just going to kind of try to trap him at the bottom of Crystal Lake. So that means number 1 is Part 4, the final chapter.
Friday the 13th, the final chapter.
This is definitely my favorite Friday the 13th, obviously, but it's one of my favorite slashers. This is, I feel like, the most Friday the 13th that a movie could Friday the 13th. All of the tropes are here that you would expect, but they don't seem tired. They're done perfectly. They're not too goofy. They're not too over the top. It's not too cheap. It doesn't seem too rushed. You don't have a porn director directing it. This is everything that you think of good and bad, with Friday the 13th is done well here. They got it right. They got the formula correct on this one. Ted White plays Jason, and this is probably the best portrayal of Jason. He does a great job. I don't really think I have anything negative to say about this movie. This is textbook 80s horror slasher, everything done well. So that's it for my Friday the 13th rankings. It's my favorite horror series or slasher series. Jason is my favorite slasher villain / hero. And so that's it. Please let me know below what you think. Thank you for watching, especially if you're still here. This is going to be probably my longest video. So thank you. That's it for this one. I'll see you in the next one.